These are the things that I was going to do at one point in time in my life, and now it's not going to happen. First item on the bucket list, tattoo. I was going to get a tattoo a long time ago, like, no, it's like 13 or something. I was going to get a Black Panther head, because you're 13 and you start smoking cigarettes and hanging out and all of this, you get a tattoo, right? So, yeah, I did get an earring back in old days, but I never did get the tattoo. So, number two on my anti bucket list is going to be skydiving or bungee jumping or parasailing, anything that has to do with heights. When I was younger, I was okay with heights. Now that I'm older, pretty much, I don't like to be high up in the air. I like to be grounded. So skydiving is not in my cards. I can tell you that much. I think skydiving is awesome. I mean, I've even considered it not very long ago. Um, but I'm not, no, it ain't going to happen. The third thing on my bucket list or anti bucket list is a safari in Africa. And the reason why I say that is because I would love to go to Africa. I've been to Africa. I'd love to go though again and go out and see all the animals and lions and the tigers. But you know what? It ain't happening. I think it's a neat thing to do, but honestly, I have a buddy that's done about three or four of these, and he says that they're inside these cages. The car has a cage around it, and the animals get right to you. I mean, and actually at night when they were sleeping, you could hear, he said, the lions and everything, are outside the house wherever they were staying in Africa. And I thought immediately, like, wow, that's dangerous, man. I'm not, that's not me. I'm afraid of heights, but I'm also afraid of getting eaten by a lion. So, the safari, the Africa safari thing is in my anti bucket list. Number four on my anti bucket list is learning a new language. I've always contemplated learning another language. Maybe I was thinking Spanish because I'm from America, and it seems like if you know Spanish, then it's a good thing. Not just with like jobs and employers, just being able to speak Spanish. But then again, the more I thought about it, as I get older, my time has passed. So I will not be learning a second language. And I do know I've got friends that can speak French. I've got friends that can speak Arabic, Spanish, and what have you. But for me, I'm just going to say I'm at a point in my life where I don't think it would add much value or do much for me anyway. So I'm not going to learn a new language. Number five is celebrating New Year's Eve in downtown New York City. I've always thought that, I wanted to be at the heart of it, downtown New York City, when they drop the ball and you could see it. And I always thought that was a really neat thing, especially growing up, because it was always on TV. You'd always do the countdown and you'd have the TV playing and, you get to see the ball drop in New York City. So it's not going to happen. No, not for me. So I'll be honest with you. For the past few years, I've went to bed way before midnight. I don't even stay up anymore and wait for the ball to be dropped. Even though I'm at home, just sitting there, I usually go to bed around 10 or 11. So I never even make it to do the countdown nowadays. So, and if that's the case, then I'm definitely not going to make it to New York City to see the ball drop. Number six on my list that I will not do is run a marathon. And I have thought about running a marathon, even as much as about a couple years ago. I thought about running a marathon, but I just don't see the value that it would add, and I just don't see the accomplishment being worth it for me. I do exercise. I mean, I do CrossFit, so I do a lot of running and gymnastics and weightlifting. I do swim and such and do things like that. So as far as just running a marathon, which is like the average runner that is an avid runner is running it around 2 to 3 hours. So I could see me taking maybe 4 to 5, and I just don't want to do it. And last but not least on my anti bucket list is visiting all 50 states. I've got a lot of buddies that say they wanted to do that. I've got a couple of friends that have seen quite a few, probably almost all 50, believe it or not. Uh, I just, I have actually lived in quite a few states. So if I add it up, I mean, not just being there, but living. I've actually lived in, New York, Utah, Idaho, uh, Kansas, Florida, Georgia, Michigan. I mean, I've lived Texas, where I'm from. I've lived in quite a few states. But as far as visiting all 50, making it a bucket list item, it's not going to happen. So, and I'm okay with that. You know, I'm going to live. I don't need to see all 50 states. If I want to go to one, I'll go. Heck, even when I have to go to a state and drive there, I have to think about that. So, you know, going to visit all 50 just to do it. I mean, I don't really see the pleasure in that. I don't see, again, it gets down to why would I do it, So if you want to do that, you've done it, great. Well, kudos to you. But anyway, those are my 7 anti-bucket list items. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, please, and like the video and share if you will. And I will see you guys on the next video.